It's the beginning of another weekend. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah. After Larry Brown, as always, I have the ladies with me. Get in the building.
Yo.
How you doing? Good to see you.
I'm fine. My material is to the Ashoebi of Victor Olauton. I don't know if you know him. He was an actor. He used to be the lead actor.
Yes, he was on our show sometime.
Yeah, he passed away recently.
Yes.
So the burial was yesterday, but my tailor didn't have my outfit ready. So I said I will wear it today to honor him. So I'm honoring him today. May his soul rest in peace.
Amen.
And all my ladies here, they all ate rice this morning.
That's my butter. I don't take it.
I should take it from you. Oh, yeah, continue.
I'm doing amazing. Yeah, Wake Up has been good to us lately. Yeah, the other day we had oha soup. And today they give us rice with, is it curry rice?
Yeah, turmeric rice.
Turmeric rice and egusi sauce, because it was not done with palm oil, but it really tasted nice. I need to find the recipe of that.
Very nice.
You know, and do it. So I'm full this morning. I'm okay. I'm relaxed. I'm going to enjoy the show as best as I can because I have eaten breakfast.
How are you doing, Mariam?
I'm doing fine.
I love the brooch.
Thank you. Brooches. There are three of them.
Have you got? This is really.
So I just put them all together.
Wow.
I love Miriam's her earrings, her neck things. I just love.
She likes to combine.
Thank you.
I love
just
her
like,
style.
I like her own jewelry too.
I love her style.
Well, have you seen Mariah's style lately? I mean, I was looking at you yesterday. I was like, whoa, what's happening? Yes.
Yeah.
But before then, you know, you are taken. I mean, she's been doing amazing her style-wise. Anyways.
I must give credit to Cotton Couture.
Okay, for yesterday.
They gave me the outfit yesterday. I need to post it, but I forgot to take a picture again. So I'll wear it again.
I wear it again.
It was a horrible day.
I'll take the show.
Yeah, I'll
take
try,
a clip.
and tag them.
Yes.
Yes, you're going to do something.
Yes, just that I'm doing great and amazing. And, you know, something happened over the week. My son, he celebrated his birthday in school, right? And I had this outfit I wanted him to wear. He insisted on wearing outfits that he's worn so many times, but they're like his favorite. And I remember how badly I felt, like, why would he, you know, dress like that? It really bothered me. I didn't want him to make the decision. And then, you know, we've talked here about having control over your children and letting the control go on. And I was saying to myself, I cannot even let control off what he will wear. It's when he grows older that... So that reminded me, and... I said I should share it so that parents, you know, in those little things, we remember that that's how we let go of control. That's how we hold on to
it happened
children.
to me not long, because there was a birthday party, my kids had to go. And Elizabeth wanted to wear these really tattered shoes. I mean, she loves those shoes. And I'm like, you can't wear this to a party. She said, no, this is what I want to wear. Yeah. And she kept me...
Kids are like that.
So I was like, come on, man, this is embarrassing. So you think I didn't buy you new shoes?
No, what you will do is you carry the one that you wanted her to wear. She wear them. She has shoes.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
That's what I would do. Me, because my daughter, she did show for me. But that reminds me, tomorrow is Imran's birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday to Imran. That's Nima's son.
Our engineer.
He's 5 years old.
He's 5 years old. Wow.
I mean, so...
He's a Your View baby.
Yeah, he's a Your View baby.
Yes, you know, so I feel very attached to him because he was born...
We knew she was pregnant when she had to do the show.
Even Mariah and the twins.
We have to go and visit the hospital to check up on her, you know. Yes.
I think we should get pregnant.
Okay,
so we have,
It's too late for me. I have your view grandchildren. I have your view.
I can have grandchildren. I don't mind.
My grandson has left home.
Yes.
I told you.
Where did he go?
He went with my friend to his friend's house yesterday. That's why he said he's not going home. This is his new house.
Saving the rest.
He wants to play with kids.
He's missing you, I'm sure.
And he wants to play with children his age. That's what's happening.
It's the weekend. There's so much ahead of us. Let's go on a quick break. When we return, we look at the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation. Lagos Rivers ask court to stop VAT revenue sharing. Lagosians okay someone lose actions on VAT and open grazing. Court cases threaten PDP convention outcome. Professor Ibiyemi Olatunji Bello is LASU VC. And resident doctors shun government's proposals. Air Force probes accidental killings of 9. And how we killed senator's son, sold his car for '1 million naira. Which story are we taking? Let's start with BC. Yes, human.
So, do you have that
Go on.
story?
You can go on.
Oh.
I have it, but you
Take
can.
it. Because I have another one in the nation. Go ahead.
Okay. They said they were passing the car, the house, and they saw the car, and they said, that car is their own. So they came back, I think, at night. They took the tiles off the roof, and then they went inside to get the keys. It was dark. They had a torch. So that torch alerted the boy, the senator's son. Yeah. And he just came out. As he came out, they kind of strangled him. They tied him up till they said there was no voice again. And they took the car, sold it for 1 million.
Just 1 million.
In Niger Republic. And
so they are still, I think they've caught 2 of them, so one of them is still at large. But I wanted to take the Nigerian Air Force story. So we know that about 10 people were killed, while over 20 others were hospitalized when the Nigerian Air Force were carrying out their raid against Boko Haram. So initially they had come out to say that the Nigerian Air Force was not involved in this, but after investigations they realized that it was a mistake on their own part, and they were able to, that made them kill those innocent Nigerians. So they are apologizing, and they are, promising to carry out more investigations and take care of the families of the people who have lost lives, basically.
Yeah, so resident doctors also have had a meeting with the federal government side, and to talk about, a way forward, an out-of-court settlement. That's what actually the court had asked them to do before the court case. And they said after 3 hours of back and forth, they came to no agreement. And so the resident doctors are saying that they'll wait for the court. So that's where we are now. Many more weeks of strike.
Right. Congratulations to Professor Ibiyemi Olatunji Bello. She's now the substantive professor. She's the Vice Chancellor of the University of LASU, and I think it was announced yesterday, I believe. If you recall, she's assumed duty as the first professor of physiology in LASU College of Medicine back in October 2007. She's also she rose to the associate professor in 2005 at the College of Medicine, University of Lagos, and when I went through her CV, I was quite impressed about how far she's come as a professor and as a woman. So I think it's well-deserving, and we'd like to say congratulations to her, and many more happy years ahead for her.
Congratulations.
Yes. Yeah, I like it when women just do stuff. Yeah. People are trying to cloud it because she's the wife of the commissioner, but the truth is that she is qualified.
She's qualified, yes.
Overqualified, safe. Let's move on to the Punch. FG to spend $4.9 billion fresh loans on Kano, Niger Republic rail lines. Professor Wole Soyinka says, mathematics saved me from insanity during 27-month detention. I felt dizzy in Villa, back to work, EFCC chairman says. Cholera spreads in Abeokuta and 1 died, 17 hospitalized. Yoruba Nation agitators, charlatans extorting people, says Bankole. Excuse me. Group fighting TB Joshua's wife over secession are faceless, says Kwan. 12 soldiers killed, 3 gun trucks seized in Borno terror ambush. 186,000 Nigerians refugees in Niger and Chad, says UNHCR. Mossab attacks by Jabiya Miller for calling secession agitators terrorists. Okay.
I'll do Mossab. So that's the movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra. On Thursday, they condemned the statements credited to the Speaker, House of Representatives, Mr. Femi Jabiya Miller. He compared the Yoruba Nation agitators and IPOB, saying that they are not different from ISWAP and Boko Haram. So the leader of Mossab is saying that how can you, a lawyer who is supposed to know better, make such an unfortunate statement, that it is too low of you to have such an unreasonable and inconsequential comment. And he said, so as a lawyer, you're supposed to know the difference between self-determination and terrorism. And so they are asking that he be taken to a psychiatric to check, to be sure that he's okay. And because you can't just compare people who are fighting for freedom to people who are kidnapping, killing, abducting. Yes, there are 2 different things, and they need to check if it's okay to be making that statement.
So okay, you want to take one? Take one.
Okay, so cholera in Abeokuta. They say 1 person has died and 17 others have been hospitalized in Abeokuta. And this is also on back of about 25 people who have died in another community, Owode in Magboro community, Obafemi, in Owode local government of Ogun State as well. So the World Health Organization is saying that their team is storming these communities, fumigating, and also advising Nigerians. That, first of all, this World Health Organization is going to densely populated areas. But talking to people also, we need to pay attention to our hygiene. And it says that the reason why cholera is fast spreading in this densely populated area, the numbers, and then everyone is so close to each other, the houses and everything. Those are the reasons why they're spread. It's sad because we've been talking about this cholera. It just keeps moving from place to place, and the casualties are quite high.
When I was young, there was cholera. Now, I'm surprised that it's coming
it again.
up again,
But you're going to take a story.
Yeah, the synagogue, what they call synagogue Church of All Nations, are attacking another group who claim to be the Global Congress. That they are faceless, they don't know them, they've never seen them before. They are coming to say TB Joshua's wife is not qualified to be the head. That they are all, in fact, they belong to the group that was chopping money when the man died, that they were all embezzling money, and then she now cuts them. And so that's why they are attacking her. That's what they're saying. That's what they're...
Okay, so I was going to take the major headline because our president is asking for more money, $4.9 billion fresh loan to have the Kano-Niger Republic rail line. And interestingly, it was approved, and Senator Ndume was questioning why it was approved quickly. He was saying that it is worrisome how these bills are being... these loans actually are being approved by the National Assembly so fast. And they're worried because these loans are not likely to generate revenue for the country and don't even put us more in debt. So he's saying
Shouldn't they have questions?
He even said
asked for more details.
He even said that a lot of the loans that they have approved have not even been given to them. They haven't received those loans. So what was the rush?
But the president is saying that we need to increase trade relationship with Northern Africa, Niger, and other surrounding countries within the north. And it's the question:
will it generate revenue for us?
So I'm sure they expect it to generate revenue, but how soon can we pay the loan? That's even the most important thing. Yes, generate revenue. How long will it begin to generate revenue? How do we pay the loans back? And that's one of the things that Senator Ndume is quite worried about of our loans. Okay, let me move on.
He's APC, isn't he?
Yes, yeah. Oh, I have to remember which party they are.
Everyone
that everybody's cross-carpeting these days. We have to go and check again to be sure. Okay,
where are you
today? Today, yes. Where are you today? That's how. So when you ask which party are they, we have to go and cross-check. Are we done with Punch? You sure there's another story? So, yeah. Okay. You think more than 86,000, Chad?
Yes, so yeah, we have... I think it was detail given by the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugee in Geneva. And they're saying that the number of Nigerian refugees in Niger Republic and Chad has risen to 170,000 and also 16,000 in Chad. And they're saying that these people actually want to come home, but we need to be sure that the government is ready to receive them, give them an enabling environment to thrive. And the worry now is that in Maiduguri, they have internally displaced persons running up to about 3 million. So they are bothered about the fact that when these people come home, where would they stay? How would they survive? And all that.
Let's go on a quick. We're going to come back and continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're moving on now to the Daily Sun. Southern governors unite on VAT, insist on 2023 presidency. Fani Kayode joins APC, says Spirit of God led him to it. IPOB suspends it at home indefinitely. Igboho urges supporters not to demonstrate attack of people in his name. Khan accuses Gumi of promoting banditry. UN March has nothing to do with IPOB. Yoruba Nation agitators reply presidency. Nigeria hits international capital markets with $6.2 billion Eurobond offer. And PDP mocks presidency over justification of loans. Okay.
Can I do IPOB?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes. So the media and publicity director of IPOB, Ima Powerful, yesterday warned anybody attempting to enforce the order to shelve their plan or have themselves to blame. They say IPOB sit-at-home has been suspended indefinitely. And they have also set up a task force to ensure that they look for all those people who may try to enforce it on Friday. They said the only time they will likely have that a sit-at-home is when Mazi Kanu will be going to court. But aside from that, it has been suspended, and anybody who is found trying to take advantage of that situation to force people to sit at home will be severely punished, that they need to do things right after all the backlash they've received so far.
Yes, so the leader, Yoruba Nation, Sunday Igbo, through his counsel, his lead counsel, Mr. Yomi Aliyu, he said that that there's time for everything. He was talking to his supporters that they should stop, you know, holding rallies and protests or defacing public facilities in his name. He says there's time for everything, everyone should calm down, and that also in respect for those who were killed July 1st in his house, he's asking everyone to just hold off, and that they should also be careful of different people coming to make statements claiming it's from him, and that it is not, except for this particular statement, which was read by his late counsel. And that's what it is, just telling everyone to stop the attack on public places and security personnel.
Yeah, he's saying that any message from him will come directly from his counsel. Any other message is not from him. And that they should please leave his mom out of...
All right, so the Southern governors have also supported the court's ruling concerning the VAT. So if you recall, and remember, the Lagos State had actually joined in the suit.
Yeah.
So they had a meeting yesterday in Enugu, and they threw their weight and saying that they completely support Governor Wike's initial appeal to the court that VAT should stay with the states. And they also continually to throw their weight with the anti-open grazing bill, and I think that was also discussed at the meeting. They reaffirmed their commitment to structural and fiscal federalism, and they said that, I know Anambra State was not represented, but the governors reiterated their earlier position that the next president must come from the southern part of the country. They didn't tell us which part of the south, because many Nigerians are interested. Is he east? Is he south? Is he west? Let us know which one. South is too vague. So please, at your next meeting, please say that your view wants to know which part of south you're talking about. Nigerians wants to know. Then, I mean, as I said, they say VAT falls within the power of the state, and they resolve to support the position that collective VAT must fall within their own purview. Okay, let's move on to Vanguard. Southern governors back Rivers, Lagos on VAT. That's really, I just said that. Sea piracy drops by 80%, says Nimasa DG. Nnamdi Kanu sues Kenya over extradition. ISIS leader al-Sharawi, killer blown up in the drone strike, says French government. EFCC boss Bawa slumps at Aso Rock event is hale and hearty. Operators to begin 5G deployment on satellites. NICOMSAT 2 launches in 2023. 10 soldiers killed as insurgents ambush military convoy in Borno. Terrorism, Al-Majiri system fueling banditry, kidnapping in North, says Khan. Foreign borrowings escalate as Nigeria goes for $6.2 billion Eurobond offer. Okay, which story are we taking?
Okay, then.
Vanguard.
Should I go?
Nnamdi Kanu, did you read the Nnamdi Kanu story?
You go ahead.
If you...
Because I'm even interested in the guy that slumped.
Okay, the EFCC boss was at an event in Aso Rock.
That's more your guy.
Yes, so he said, we saw the video, many of us saw the clip where he was talking and he seemed quite tired and he stopped. And when he got to his seat, he slumped, and he's saying that he was actually just dehydrated.
He slumped from the podium.
No, he walked down.
He walked to his seat.
He started to do like this. He had to end his statement halfway. That's all for now.
For real?
Yeah.
I didn't see the video.
Okay, so he just responded
Maybe
that
they are using work to stress this guy.
He said he was dehydrated, and that's what happened. But that his back on his
his
feet
feet. He
and
needs
back
to
to
rest,
work.
though.
Yes, I think he needs to
Yeah,
work.
he
It's not easy. This corruption in Nigeria is a deep problem.
Yeah.
If you
Maybe they're even doing juju for him.
Corruption is a demon.
Maybe some people are even calling his name. They are performing for him.
Yeah, why
no,
So we are
let's not
okay.
even give them that excuse before they will say that juju
That
is
is
okay.
making
Please
is
leave
working.
Mr. Bauer for
He's
us, so I
working,
beg.
you.
He's working, no, I
He's just
beg,
working
oh.
hard.
Please.
Can you imagine fainting when you are sitting down? You know, you normally faint when you are standing up. He fainted when he was sitting down. He was already
Why
sitting.
some people slump when they are sitting down? Or just
That one is heart attack.
Remember that guy that was in the DG of
what is that thing?
what's it?
NCDC.
Was it off your mic? I think it's off your
Hey,
mic.
it's off your mic. It's the off your mic. That one fainted while he was sitting down.
He just left
YK
YK.
is
I want to talk about the Christian Association
Yeah.
of Nigeria. So they are blaming the Amajiri system in the north for increasing cases of banditry, kidnapping, terrorism, and armed robbery in the country. So they're asking the authorities to pay more attention to the critical factors behind the widespread of insecurity in the country. And they also talked about the fact that Sheikh Gumi has been having links with the bandits. Until now, nobody has arrested him and asked him questions. He's just left to be working free, and he has not been brought in to explain some of his utterances. They said, over 40 years we've had this Amajiri system, and these people have no trace to families, hometown, or nationalities, and they're scattered all over the streets. So they should be taken out of the streets. They should be given a sense of belonging. They should be put in school and help, to help them release their potential. So they mentioned some of the things that the government can begin to do for these people to take them off the streets.
So in a fairly related story, Kanus had suspended one of the a caretaker chairman in Gombe. His name is Reverend Sunday Congo. What did he do? He wrote a congratulatory message to Pantami. I don't know. I don't want to concern you and Pantami. He went to go and write Pantami saying that he said they are proud of Pantami as a Gombe son on his promotion to the rank of Professor of Cybersecurity by the Governing Council of Futo. And Kanu said, did we send you a message? So they just thought it was really wrong and distasteful of him to do that.
But
so following that,
history.
Yes, giving Pantami's history and the fact that he's a suspected terrorist. So he said this action of yours was published in a press release made on behalf of the association because he was writing a letter on behalf of Khan.
Yes.
Wow.
So they say, Uncle, please,
that was huge.
They just suspended him quickly.
Yeah.
So the Kano story.
Yes.
He's sued the Kenyan government. He's presented by Lutri and Company Advocates. He's taking the respondents are the CS, Director of Immigration, Director of Criminal Investigations, and the International Airport, the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, and the Attorney General. They say he went to Kenya on medical grounds for a heart problem and to talk with people on the Biafra matter. He went to the airport. He got a phone call to go and pick somebody from the airport. Got to the airport, then they didn't hear from him again. He was taken. He was taken from there. The next thing they hear is in Nigeria.
And because
they didn't follow due process.
Yeah,
he went with his British passport. That he had renounced his Nigerian passport since 2015 when they said that he should return his passport. So he went as a British citizen, not as a...
So why would you take a British citizen
out of Kenya
and take him to Nigeria?
And take him to Nigeria.
Wow.
So he's suing them.
All right.
There was one more story there. So we have 10 soldiers that were killed on a very, very sad note. These are soldiers that were working in the part of the Hadenkai Theatre Command in Maiduguri. So these soldiers had been in the particular theatre for a long time. So many of them had overstayed. They were just changing their posts. On their way out and going to Maiduguri, they drove into what they believe were mines that were set up by Boko Haram and ISWAP, and it blew them up. Some say 10 soldiers, other people say 12 of them. And in that ambush, the terrorists were able to go away with 3 gun trucks and many ammunition and also some reasonable amount of cash. My heart really goes out to these soldiers and their families. They are working so hard in protecting us, and these are the casualties that sometimes happen.
It's a war. Amen. It's a war.
Daily Trust.
Call it any other name.
Southern governors insist on VAT. Let's find a story of not taken. And Saru Group fleeing for a hoist flag in 2 Kaduna villages. Concerns over Unimaids recruitment scam. Air Force takes responsibility for Yobe shooting, raises probe panel. Can't suspend Gombe chair over the message to Pantami. APC state congresses, anxiety as governors, others move to install cronies. Okay. Unimade, who has that story?
There was a controversy at the University of Maiduguri over the circumstances surrounding the recruitment and documentation of some non-academic staff. So there were allegations that some of the staff were illegally recruited into the university, and it was done after they had gotten their clearance. Others were alleged to have paid bribes. So when investigation started, the thing went viral on social media, and then they started investigation, realized that some persons paid over 1 million to get, recruited. But at the end of the day, when they got to the point where they would be paid, the IPPIS, they were found out. And so, the government had, the school administration has said that the people who were supposed to be doing clearance are those who were not captured in 2020, so they needed to do it, and there was no new recruitment going on. So if you have been paid bribe to get recruitment, go and collect your money from the people who collected the money from you. The school is not bringing in new people.
Yeah.
Those people will run.
As in, you won't see them.
Hey, they are brake lights.
All right, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, we discuss the hottest news in Nigeria as of this morning.
Nigeria's history.
On the planet.
History.
The groundbreaking news. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So Nigerians were minding their business when news broke that the former aviation minister under PDP, who has publicly, repeatedly condemned the government of today, was seen taking a picture with the president. Not only that, he had cross-carpeted to the APC from PDP. And he had verbally, several times, said he'd rather die than enter prison. We're talking about none other than Femi Fani Kayode. Honorable. Mr. Femi Fani Kayode. So that's our hot topic.
I think he's a chief, Shao.
Okay,
all of
chief.
the above. The truth is, this is an interesting conversation because Nigerians are in dire need of leadership. We seek true leaders. And it's important when things like this happen, we review amongst ourselves. So when we are choosing leaders tomorrow, we know what we are looking for. If we don't discuss this and leave it, we'll keep recycling these kinds of people. So today we ask, what are your thoughts about Femi Fani Kayode's recent cross-carpeting to APC from PDP?
And hobnobbing.
Add it. Even before we started the show, we've been getting messages from different people on this matter. And I would really like to start, if you permit me.
Go ahead.
Somebody sent me
Before we start, can we just maybe remind people a little of
please.
some of the things he had said?
Oh, yes.
So here, this is in the papers. He said that I would never join Buhari APC. APC is Almajiri People's Congress. I would rather die than join APC or bow to Buhari. I'm committed to opposing the APC and those that are in their ranks for the rest of my natural life. And I will never join them no matter what. They are nothing but darkness, whilst I stand for the light of God and truth. There can be no fellowship between light and darkness.
So the question is, in Nigeria, are our words truly our bonds? Can you stand by your word? Do our leaders stand by their words? Can we trust anything they say? So they keep telling us, we are moving forward. We are fixing the country. We are doing this. But I'll keep us saying, story. Because of things like this. So the question is, how do we begin to believe our leaders? And let me even hear your own initial thoughts about this crossing over first, before we even start reviewing what it means to us.
No, please first read that message.
We like the message.
Okay, then let me read. So, this message is from a viewer, and he said his thoughts about Femi Fani Kayode.
Cross-carpeting.
He said he's delusioned about his political value. He says he's an inconsistent Liberty gibbet. No, this is what we have to start thinking about them. He said his fiendish equivocation is of tragic proportion. His followers can only be led one way, perdition.
Jesus.
As he has left APC frustrated ones. So, this one is an AP. I don't want to for you, please. It says, by his treachery, he shall win nothing but lose all. Only God shall he find. I don't want to shake it for him, please. That is wrong. Let me pick another one. He said, the milk and honey of politics that he so desperately seeks, he won't find. So, this is just one person, and you see, he came from a place of pain. And I thought to myself, why is this person so pained? About your family member. How does it concern you? But it just shows how he was followed by certain people. And how some of them feel really hurt and disappointed and betrayed that he took this step. Not that because APC is a bad place, but what you said against this place and you went there. That's really the issue. So let me hear your thoughts on this.
It's like when they say a dog goes back to his vomit. So you throw it up and then you look around and then you come back. Me, I wasn't disappointed. I wasn't surprised. I've learned over the years not to really take what these politicians say, because I know that at the end of the day, there are no enemies in politics. I studied political science in school, and I know how they play that game. You will see two people at loggerheads, two different ideologies. Before you know what is happening, they are hobnobbing with each other. So I wasn't shocked when it happened, when I saw people upset and everything. I was like, oh, were you taking his word in the first place? You would be something else to even believe him. And I also know his person to be intoxicated with power. Anyone who is intoxicated with power will get it by any means necessary. They don't care who they push down. They don't care whether they say it today. Their words really don't mean much because of, they put their interest before every other thing that happens. So having someone like that who you see is so, he's just to dangle a little carrot and he changes his values. So I wasn't shocked. I wasn't surprised. I'm just, wondering why are Nigerians
before it comes
shouting about it.
My first thought about him, because someone sent me a video of where the things, how he was abusing Buhari. He used his mouth. I'm even surprised that the president met with him. First of all, you can cross carpet to my party, but I don't need to meet with you because he has insulted him.
Buhari small that received him to eat the asphalt.
You think?
So he just, yes.
It's politics.
He lacks integrity.
Simple.
And I want to give you some words.
To buttress it.
Yes. Wait, some Uyimbo there is too big for me.
So let me quote
Crookedness.
Solo Lugogunlesi. He says, today at the State House, Abuja, somebody has come and joined the APC. And the large-hearted and magnanimous president received him. Because that's the essential Buhari for you. A presidential aide, Solo Lugogunlesi said. So that was what Solo said, saying it was magnanimous of our president to receive Femi Fani Kayode. Do you agree?
I do not agree. Because I can be magnanimous and greet you from afar. If you upset me, if you insult my person, I will not receive you. Because I will look, this one is a bad person.
You came for my person, not the politics.
So no,
read that.
So let me just... Dissembling, dissimulation, double dealing, dupery, duplicity, fakery, falseness, falsity, fraudulentness, hypocrisy, insincerity, two-facedness. No.
May I add one more?
Please.
Iberiberism.
What's that one?
Iberibe. Only Iberiberism. Greed.
So, wait, what's that thing? Something.
I will tell you. I will tell you.
Don't do me like this now. Please.
So he's... Hey, blood of Jesus. Okay, thank you.
Because he was fraternizing with Igbo people. Let me use Igbo language to tell him what he is.
Okay, so we know this
bad person.
His megalomaniac approach to life. He wants power.
Yeah.
So we see that. But I want us to pack FFK because we've yabbed him a bit.
I'm not yabbed.
Mine was not yabbed. Okay, please go ahead.
Maybe use coolness.
But I think if I've used all the words, and I just remember my son then, if he's so upset with you, you say, bad person. So you're a bad person. Anyway, the word, for me, I'm not surprised, as you rightly said, there's an expectation of someone. He has lived a certain type of life. He has left us a pattern. Maybe it's for the young ones. We're saying it now for the younger ones who are meeting him or coming across him for the first time and are wondering what this is all about. So it's good to give people's history. You know, many times we go to the polls or people come to talk to us about either electing them or things like that. We never know their history. So it's important that it's documented, it's spoken about, so people understand what your true values are. And for me, this man just seems like a man who is a child of opportunity. He's just there for himself. And it's important for us to know that that is the sort of person that he is. So when he comes to... when he comes to canvass for vote, ask to represent you, then you would see... you know, then you know why. And then secondly, there was a time he sat down with a group of journalists and a question was asked of him. Now you can hear, you can almost say there's a justification for how someone would open their mouth and say some things to you because they actually, who bankrolled you, meaning we know you as someone who lacks integrity, who goes to where you're being paid. And then so now we're going to ask the same question, sir. Who's bankrolling you?
Okay, so let me go on a quick break. Thank you very much, Mariam, because he said the Spirit of God led him. Yep. So when we come back, we'll discuss this matter.
We'll talk about the Spirit.
We'll talk about that Spirit.
We probe that Spirit.
We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing and reviewing this bombshell Femi Fani Kayode threw on Nigerians yesterday. Now, he said it was the Spirit of God that led him. And because even this week, we discussed a lot of Spirit of God, going to your pastors, you know, how God speaks to you, either through somebody else or through, you know, those kind of things. And when somebody like this says Spirit of God spoke to you, I mean, it could be, in fairness, because Spirit of God can speak to different people in different ways. But because, you see, I try to rationalize this. You and I don't need to understand, because it's between him and God.
Maybe you say we are carnal.
And because you are carnal. But the truth is, if God really led him, could there be a purpose for this leading?
There is a tube here that says, by Ola Classic Sage, says, can we say Femi Fani Kayode's natural life has ended? So, Marian read where he said his natural life. And then you are telling me the Spirit of God. So can we say it is his spirit that moved to APC and not his natural body?
Okay, that's an angle.
That's an angle.
Okay. So let me take the Olumide's call and I'll come to this angle. Olumide, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning.
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 Yeah, I would like to appreciate the work you guys are doing. My quick point on FFK is that man has no values. He has no principles. No values. And I also think that it's good for youth in Nigeria to be aware who they follow. Not just following people because they have achieved a particular sector in life. And in speaking about the spirit, you know, we have different kinds of spirit. Even in the Bible, we compare not being drunk with wine, you know, with the Holy Spirit. So there are different kinds of spirits. So it could be a spirit that has told you, but after it can be the Holy Spirit. That's my contribution.
Right. Thank you, Olumide. So I want us to, as usual, because we usually don't like putting people on pedestal here. So we've talked about him a bit. Let us pack him for a second. Let's now take this issue of your word being your born as a leader. In this week, we're discussing leadership.
Yeah.
So he's a leader. People look at, he has tremendous amount of followers on Facebook, and Instagram, and Twitter, and all that. So the point is, when your leader goes back on his word, how does that make you feel? So it's not about you going to APC. That's like 0.00% of the issue.
Exactly.
You don't care which party you go to.
Exactly.
What Nigerians are saying is that your word is no more
Your bond.
a bond. I can't hold you to your word anymore. So how do we juxtapose this, therefore, with all the other leaders we have? Can we even trust any of them?
So, you know, the guests we had a few days ago that talked about leadership told us that politicians are not leaders. The problem we have is that we are looking for leadership from the politicians. And the people who are natural leaders, who have been made to lead, don't find themselves in politics. We have to, you know, remind them and take them there, you know, because they already have it. But those ones who are there need to come back and study how to become leaders. So it's not about having followers. It's not about being in the public space where people just, that doesn't really make you a leader. We need to start looking at the criteria that make you a leader. And one of it is integrity, excellence. One of it is your ability to say something and stand by it, come what may. And unfortunately for us, our type of politics does not, we don't do politics based on ideologies. I can't say this is the ideology of the PDP now. This is what PDP stands for, or this is what APC stands. They don't have clear-cut ideologies. Everything just models because they are putting their interests first before that of the nation. So there's no clear-cut on this is what we stand for. You can't hold anything and say this is what these people stand for, no matter what, this is where they are going to be. So till we can, you know, go into that divide and understand what forms your interest in being in power. Why do you want to be in power? Why do you want to be in a place of rulership? Let me use the word rulership. Why must you be the one there? Can you step aside and allow somebody else be there? Because you are definitely going there because of the things you want to benefit. And we've seen how we've had cases of this particular guy who has abused power, who has, you know, manipulated people, you know, all the videos are on social media, as a matter of fact.
I mean, even Femi Ojudu added his thoughts to it. He says that today is the saddest day, Ojudu, saddest day for him in his political career. That's Femi Ojudu.
Can you imagine?
So this is one of his really close colleagues. I mean, there's so many people saying, and that person says he's shameless, self-serving, an incorrigible individual. I mean, so many unprintable names he's been called. And as I said, I don't want us to focus too much on him. He's more of leadership.
I was listening to the radio today. This guy, Charles Olojode, he said that we should stop. Oh, you have a phone call?
Yes, she's been holding for a while.
Yeah, quickly.
Peace, are you there? I'm so sorry for keeping you. Go ahead, please.
I think this issue of Kayode is not a new thing. When you are dealing with people that are very, very funny, and you see, these politicians, they are not out for the masses. They are just out for themselves. When we keep on looking up to them, we are not going anywhere. Because most of them, when they get there, you will not even see them. So why are you even talking about somebody that is not relevant to us? He has never won anything. He's not relevant to Nigeria as far as we're concerned. So this one is not a point of discussion. I think we are wasting our time talking about Kayode because he's a nobody in Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Peace, for your thoughts.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I was saying, he said we should stop saying APC and PDP. That there are only two parties in Nigeria, and it is not APC and PDP. Said the parties, APC and PDP, one
and
party,
the others.
And the rest of us, two parties. And I thought about it, so I said, it is true. Because when we keep dividing them, because tomorrow they're in APC, the next day they're in PDP,
they recycle
themselves. Come on.
Yeah. So for me,
where is the integrity into your law?
Go ahead.
Okay, so one of the things why I like what is happening, and thank God for social media and television, is for us to learn. We need to use this as life lessons. So a lot of times we have people who are well-spoken. When they sit down here, it's happened to us, someone will sit down here and speak to us, and we're like, whoa, where have you been? You should be the president right now. And it's important that we now look people and dissect them beyond their flowery words, you know, and the confidence that they seem to exude. We need to look at the content of their character. And one of the ways to look at it is when you say a word, do you mean it? Do you have integrity? Many times we've asked people who've come here, like, how do we know who a true leader is? It's not in the many education. When people ask for pedigree, the pedigree is not about how much your father had and passed on to you. Your pedigree is in your word and your action. And obviously, people like these have no pedigree, in my opinion. No matter how much money you have or who your father used to be, you have no pedigree, you have no integrity. And it's important for the young ones. We have so many first-time voters now. These are the sort of things you should look out for. The people that say one thing and then do another thing. For me, he has even, I know you don't want us to refer to him, but he's now a shining example of what not to be.
Fantastic.
Shining example of what not to be. He's shining. Shining star. Shining star. Don't be like FFK.
In fact, that's the tagline. No? Don't be like FFK. That's the tagline. That's a T-shirt right there.
Hurting my liver.
In fact,
that's a T-shirt.
we are going to wear it.
It's hurting my liver.
I'm going to do that T-shirt. Your view will wear it.
I have a call for worry. Want to put us in trouble. I hope there's not DSS outside waiting for us.
I've already given my own to
Okay, for worry. Joe,
the spirit of God.
I have 4 children, please. I did not mean. Worry, good morning, Orikiroro. Please.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead. You are live.
Morayo, good morning.
Yes, sir.
I think I'm calling in protest. I've made several. Hello.
We can hear you. Go ahead, please.
I've made several attempts to reach you ladies, but this is the first time
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I like what you ladies are doing, but the truth is, it's unfortunate one has to burn his head time to discuss about a man that I see should be given a discounted value. I live and I grew up in Fani Kayode Street, the street named after the father of this man. But this is a case of someone whose father has a legacy, and the young man has only come to generate that value, demonstrate that value. The legacy of a good name that the father has worked on over time. Now, the basic truth is this. We are missing a point. A situation whereby anybody we find around the political scene will refer to him as a politician. Fani Kayode is not a politician. He's an opportunist. And he should be seen and treated as such. In fact, he is a political nomad. He's a political nomad. And when we are caught in this sort of attention, we make him seem relevant. I don't think he's someone who has a positive place in the history of Nigerian political annals. And it would be right to see him as one who is a paid merchant.
Right.
Who is asked.
Right. Thank you very much.
He's a political nomad.
I wanted to go back to what Mariam said, which I thought was key. This issue of pedigree, legacy. Because this is a man that indeed had pedigree. That's the high
pedigree, education,
correct.
Best schools.
Best schools in the world. So this is supposed to be somebody that everybody's like looking up to. But unfortunately, it's beyond the pedigree that backs you up. It's the character you show today. And I think that should be also a lesson to young people. Yes, you may not have the best background, you may have the best pedigree, you may even have the best pedigree. But if your character does not speak of you, your character is lacking. You are nothing.
So I think we need to start redefining pedigree.
Thank you,
For a long time, we have relied on your father's ability to create wealth and make money and then send you abroad to the best of schools and all of that. And so those children who are not opportune to come from homes like that always feel left out, like, who is my father? Me now, I don't even have, do you know my father? My sister, I don't even know your father. You know? But we need to start redefining our pedigree now. What should be the criteria? How do you say this person has pedigree? We need to go back to the basics that our forefathers had. Integrity, truth, honesty, ability to stand by the truth, ability to speak truth to power. Those are the things that we need to value.
But also, remember our guest, Osas, the partner,
Yes.
Osaro, he has pedigree.
Yes!
That's pedigree
That is
speaking.
pedigree.
So pedigree can go either way.
You see, there is pedigree and there is pedigree. When you have the pedigree of
Your name.
antecedents of his father are not because they are yabbing his father here. Because the father gone was like that.
Okay.
No, it's
That's
true.
history.
It's here.
Let's not bring the father on here.
I'm not bringing the father. I'm only telling you.
Yeah.
But that's what
And
happens.
wait, the
has
antecedents of the father are not far from the son.
Because you cannot
That
give
is
what you
pedigree
don't have.
now. Hey.
So it's not about the Eton College. It's not about that.
It's not about that.
Yeah,
It's about character.
You have followed your really true pedigree. And
about
that's his
character.
pedigree.
It's about
But we
strength of
have
morals.
failed.
Okay.
And because I keep on saying it, a man who doesn't know where he's coming from,
We not remember where
we know where he's at and where he's going to. So we have failed to realize where
We are coming
FFK is coming from. That's why we are all like this and we are all hey,
We're not supposed to be surprised.
He's
no.
only following the true pedigree.
Okay, let's go on a break. When we come back, we will take more calls and messages. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still on this FFK matter. So Reno Mokri has added his voice to this matter. In fact, the whole of Nigeria, this is a hot topic for today. He says, you say you are a friend of Sunday Igboho. You called him your brother. You even called Nnamdi Kanu your friend and brother. And one of the most courageous person you know. You see what this demon in human flesh is doing to these freedom fighters. Yet, you do this. It makes me suspicious. How can these two people you were close to, who confided in you, end up in Buhari's trap, and then you attend to his party? It looks like 30 pieces of silver.
Jesus,
at this point,
join,
I would very much hate to be your own friend and brother. This is from Reno Mokri.
Betrayal, join.
You don't know what betrayal is? Eh?
Mikey, tell us.
Do you know what betrayal is? Do you know that when you are betrayed, especially by someone you are close to, you can't eat. You can't eat. You can't sleep. They will be asking you what's wrong. It will be like sickness. That is what he has done to his
followers.
allies.
His followers.
You know,
and his followers. Because people believed in this guy.
What?
When you abuse Femi Fani Kayode where people are, they can kill you.
They will come after
His
you.
followers will
Yes, they will come after you.
Yes.
But look at what he has done. Now, those ones, they are not eating. They are the ones calling now and saying, why are we discussing this? It's not an issue.
Penning them.
He's penning them. They are in pain. They are not sleeping. They are not eating.
Mikey. Okay, let me come to my, but let me take this call. Good morning, Yakub. Are you there? You're live. Go ahead, please.
And good morning to you all, especially Sister Yeni. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morayo, you see, let me go the way of office. I am not surprised. I am not surprised at all. I'm not surprised. Because the reason is this. I would be surprised one day if I heard that Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu moved from one party to another. I will be highly surprised. I will be surprised if I heard that Sule Lamido of Jigawa State moved from PDP to any other party. I will be surprised. Those are the two things those are two people figure that I can mention now. And then I want to correct one impression here that all the politicians are the same thing. No, they were not. They were. Some of them are very upright persons. Let me give you one typical example. You can never compare Professor Governor Sulumu of Borno State with Fani Kayode. You can never compare both of them. Because Professor Sulumu, if you give him a leadership role, you will know that you give him someone that you can rely on. He can be able to do whatever you ask him to do. Go to Borno State, even though Boko Haram was attacking them, go and look at what this guy has been able to do in that place. So let me back to this Fani Kayode. This is a person that can never won a word in his own political area. He has never won his word. So what is political value he wants to add to APC? Rather than, though he was an eloquent person, they can be able to talk anything in terms of talking. I'm sorry to say this, but I will say this. He can say rubbish to any other party so that he can be able to downgrade political party. I'm talking about opposition now. So, Morayo, let us look inward. He joined political party. He came to APC. Let me tell you, tomorrow is not far from us. He will move again back to the PDP. I can tell you that. But write it down because he's looking.
Thank you very much.
Because he lacks integrity.
Yeah.
If you have integrity, what he's doing? What he's doing? How does he want to teach his children? How does he want to teach his followers who are younger than him?
Exactly. Go ahead, Mariam.
Okay, so another thing we need to understand is this sort of behavior in the beginning has its perks. It pays. So you're able to move from one place to the other. Where you find opportunity, it pays you. But I'm happy again that I'm saying this again, that it's happening. It's playing out in front of us because it has an end date. So we have people who we question, you know, when other people say, no, these are the things you should chase. You should chase character, you should chase integrity, your what should be your bond. And you see people who do that. And we ask the question, but to what end? They don't even have anything to that. Exactly. There's nothing ostentatious or glamorous or materialistic that they have acquired, or material that they have acquired. But these people that are jumping from one party to the other, telling lies, peddling lies, you know, are doing better. So people can now see that there's an end date. You will play this game for so long that one day you come, then you make a mockery of yourself. So this is where it ends, because a lot of people have always seen the beginning, the middle. Nobody has ever seen the end. And for me, I feel that it is downhill from here with such a behavior. It would not lead you anywhere. And then, as you said, what happens to those behind him? And now we're talking of his own real children. How, when they read things like that, how would they feel? They would now have to make a name separate for themselves. You know.
Distance.
Let me take this call. Let me take this call.
I would change my name if I was his child, and I wasn't like him. I would now become Jenny, not FFK. Minus
FFK.
Without...
Take this column.
Let me take this call. Good morning. Can't even remember the name again. Good morning. Hello, are you there? Hassan, thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Don't worry about the name, Mariah. Don't worry. Good morning, all of you.
Good morning,
sir. Let me take the part of Mariam and YK this morning. Look, a clown once said, if you don't know where you are going, any road can take you there.
Yeah.
This guy, Fani Kayode, knew not where he's going to. It's a political jobber. He's looking for what he needs. Look, Obasanjo has said it all about Fani Kayode. He said, give him food. He will see your son to the high heaven. That's the type of person that guy is. You don't take him serious. He can be in any party tomorrow. He's just making his money. These are the people that live on bullying somebody to make money. Bullying one party to make money. He's not a principal person. He was brought in, look at the history of Fani Kayode. He was brought in by Obasanjo, you understand, to lash at his opponents. That was the job. And now he's still doing the same thing. He's earning his living. Look at his family lifestyle. Marrying one girl after the other. Is that actually? Look, don't think these kind of people are the peacemakers. They are not the peacemakers at all. I'm not even surprised. It's an account. Good morning.
Thank you. Somebody sent me, I'll come to UBC. Somebody sent me a message. It says, listen, Femi Fani Kayode will become Minister of Information when Yahaya Bello becomes president in 2023. He has 4 boys to take care of. So the truth is that as we are speaking at Yabin today, tomorrow he can become your Minister of Information. And we say, hey, Honorable Minister, wants to come. We now start inviting him, Honorable, please,
no,
you're welcome to the show.
Today you are inviting him on the show. Just tell me so I won't come to the show.
So
If you don't come, who will now invite you?
Mariah and Miriam.
No, I mean,
Anima.
no, Tokwe will host the show. Me, I'll be in my house. But the point is that, listen, as we are seeing this now, but in our very before, he can become minister. Or become vice president, or whatever it is. That's that. So we all, unless we make that decision, unless as a people we stand against it. But if it becomes appointed, nobody can't stop somebody, the president from appointing his friend to become minister.
What I want to say that a lot of people knew him to his background. and still chose to follow him. They knew his pedigree, they knew his character, they knew the flaws in the character, and they still chose to follow him. Everything we're saying today, there are still people who will die for him, who are still following him. We need to start questioning the sort of people that inspire us. We need to start asking questions. When you see somebody and you see and you present the sort of people that inspire you, we need to start looking at you 2 times. So this kind of person, knowing who he is, still inspires you. You yourself, we need to check you. You have a problem.
He's had about 4 divorces or something like that.
Thank you. So we need to start holding each other accountable. We need to start asking those questions. Yeah. Don't just feel because this person has money, this person is okay, this person can speak, spray. Yeah. This person should be a leader. We need to start asking questions. Yes, because with everything we are saying today, there are people that are still lining up for this guy.
He will speak very soon.
And there are the people that will vote him if peradventure he comes up and he wants to become this and that. Yeah, peradventure. So we need to question.
They speak that Can you remember when he insulted that journalist? Yo, would you sit down? Can you imagine?
Imagine that.
But I asked the question about the president receiving him. If you were the one, would you receive him?
Never.
I said I will. I'll receive him as an example. He also said that the president graciously received me. The grace is on the president, and not on him. It's important that sometimes, you also mentioned...
Me, I will not be gracious.
Yeah. So you also mentioned that after knowing him, you still bring him into the fold. They know him and they use him as a tool. You understand that he's vocal. And, as the last caller said, you will use him for
against the other people.
For what he is. Wow. And that's what it is. And for me... if someone like that comes back, I will take that person.
And use him?
I will, yes. For what he's
being there is already a lesson.
It's a lesson for a lot of people.
If he will learn now.
No, he has learned.
No, people like this
will learn. People will learn.
People to learn from what is happening.
Because you assume that the people have shame. We are beginning to lose shame here. People say, after all, I can mess up and do everything, and once I go and tell them I'm okay, I'm sorry, they will accept me.
We are the emperor that was naked and did not know he was naked.
Let me take this call. Magaji, are you there? We have to wrap up because our guest is in the studio. Good morning. Go ahead. You're live.
Yeah, so I've just been watching this program with my dad, and I can tell you that the pain that can be seen on the face of my dad and even me is something you can't explain.
Wow.
The opposition party that is supposed to be keeping this present government on their toes is not doing anything. And the only people that have been giving us hope have been Femi Fani Kayode and Rino Omokri. And if this morning we are waking up to the news that this guy has defected to the APC, then I don't know what's left for us.
No hope.
Because these are the only people that have been giving us hope. It's really, really painful. I'm actually surprised. And even now, I'm thinking that we can just wake up tomorrow and even Rino Omokri may just move to the APC. This is really, really bad for Nigeria. And I don't know what the future holds for us as youth and what we have.
Thank you, Magaji, for bringing that up. Because I remember, YK, when PDP was in power. Oh, my goodness. AP was such a strong opposition. You could feel, I mean, when they brought this change campaign, even before the change, Lai Mohammed was almost every day on TV. You could see the pressure from APC.
He wasn't
there was something, there was an A-B class. You could see the energy. But when APC entered, people just went comatose. We didn't hear them.
They've been trying to stifle them now.
Yes. So we saw APC get stronger, did everything. They had this, their propaganda. We saw it was propaganda.
Because they were allowed to.
What you are even missing here is listen to that Magaji's call.
Yes.
Pain.
He's in pain. Betrayer.
Yes.
This is somebody who gave him hope.
Will he eat today?
Magaji, he said him and his father. It's not just him. It's him and his father that are not eating today. He said he's talking with pain. He gave them hope.
I could feel it.
Yeah. I was almost in tears. Oh,
okay.
No.
So, so he's saying that he's afraid also that, other people that they look up to may move to the party as well. And that is what I was talking about, how they use you. Okay. So the part, for whether you like it or not, it's a powerful statement for the party. It means that everything you have said against APC, you have swallowed it. It is not true. APC is a better party. I mean, based on his words, if you had called something black before, and now you've gone and you have called it white, you have washed it off of all the things that you said that were attached to it, and you have now presented it. Now what you stand as a symbol, presenting it as a better party than what you thought.
But what does
now
that
he
say?
also mentions that, you know, in the past 2 years, he's seen some of the improvements of the party. Do you know, that's like free PR that you have just gotten.
Yes, so
now, that's a party. We're not talking of human beings. A human relationship is
different. Okay,
but
I get
now we're
it.
talking of party who all they're trying to what the parties try to do is get people to vote, get people to want to.
So
be part
whatever
of
brings
it.
them the numbers,
That's
because
it.
they all don't have an ideology.
Exactly.
I have to wrap up on this.
Exactly.
because
Sorry, Murayo Jare.
Sorry.
Is it number? It's about integrity.
Yes, now it's about
Everybody
number.
doesn't have integrity inside
Even
there.
if you say anything and you come back, as long as you're going to help us bring people to our
Eh,
side,
oh.
it's okay. It means you two should be checked. You are not true.
Let me end this segment with this message from Helen Essien. She says, FFK doesn't shock me. A man unstable in his ways cannot control his home.
Bagan.
Always in the news for the negative reasons. The cautious fellow who puts his mouth in motion before his brain is engaged in gear. Nigerians should not be surprised at all, Helen Essien. I thought that really sums up what we're saying here, that the truth is that we are doing not like FFK. What was that t-shirt again? Not like, FFK, or not like FFK, or don't be, or mind, whatever. So because we are learning as young people what not to be.
Yes.
Who not to be.
Who not to be like.
It's not about the English you speak. It's not so much again about the pedigree. Pedigree is good. Pedigree can work for you, just like we saw with Osaro.
Or against you.
It can work with you, for you, it can work against you.
No, pedigree is pedigree.
The right pedigrees now is what we should be.
He is only following his own pedigree.
Yes, okay, so everybody has their own
If
pedigree.
I come and go and kiss Buhari tomorrow, you will know that
Something has happened to you.
They do check my DNA. Go and check. You will have to check my DNA. I am not first time.
Okay, if you go and
DNA.
let me tell you, if you go in Pat and Brown on the stage, nobody will question you.
And they don't worry about that one.
That's a different
Can I even go on stage in Pat and Brown? He didn't go on stage in pants.
Pants.
No, they just took videos of his rehearsal at home.
So if you are rehearsing in brown pants, we know it's your pedigree.
But that one is a different pedigree.
That was it. Don't mind her. We are talking ideology. We are talking ideology. Come, you are Akabash on Sotao. Don't talk rubbish here.
I know I have pedigree.
Exactly.
I have correct pedigree.
We have Teddy.
Yes,
Okay.
we are building our
If Buhari goes and kisses Buhari tomorrow,
Yes.
My father will turn in his grave.
Oh, exactly.
DNA for her.
My father will turn in his grave.
Exactly. So he's following his pedigree. So pedigree works.
Yeah.
Okay. Just that Osas you had was following his own pedigree. He was talking truth to power.
Yes.
That's his own
Do you
pedigree.
understand his own pedigree?
Yeah.
You follow.
I think you should
So
Follow
build your own
Pedigree.
pedigree.
If
do
you
not
don't
be
have,
afraid to be the only one. Self. When you are standing for your truth, do not be afraid to
Exactly.
be the minority.
Yeah. True.
That's all we can take on this segment.
Pay me.
Finished. Let's
Calm
go on
down,
the
calm
break.
down.
Finish forever, please. Mikey.
When we come back, our guest takes the stand. Stay with us. We'll be back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So our celebrity guest today is a multi-award winning songwriter, producer, artist, gospel artist, Mr. Wale Adenuga in the building. We like to refer you as a veteran. You're one of those that have trained many people have looked up to you growing up. You're somebody that helped so many people in this industry. And you're one of the major foundations of the gospel music industry. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you so much.
So how has it been? I mean, I know gospel music industry have evolved. There are a lot of things happening. You are one of those that try to make it a proper structure into this industry, because then it was just haphazard. Everyone was just doing anything. And you're trying to really formalize it, make it profitable for those who are in the industry. You know, let's create some kind of a proper formality in this. How has that been so far? How would you review what the gospel music industry have become as of today?
I think first of all, good morning, everybody. I watch this show.
Thank you.
I feel like calling every morning. I say, first time caller. So you guys can clap, but now for the show, so that's even bigger. You know, growing up in a generation such as mine, if you told your parents that you wanted to do music, it's like, I mean, you must be out of your mind.
Yeah.
So, but then, you know, you brave it, and then you're doing it. Of course, I'm not even doing that full time because I do business and all of that. But then there's so much talent right now, and there's definitely a need for structure. So people move from just singing in church, and now we now ask ourselves, okay, how can we put a structure around this in terms of, there's still a huge problem. For instance, you hear so many songs and you don't even know who wrote the song.
Yes.
I mean, even some of my songs, some people don't even know
That is yours.
that I wrote it. Oh, somebody said today. I mean, we had a case in court a couple of years ago, and in fact the lawyers were saying, "Oh, this is a song that's been in existence since time immemorial."
Oh, yes, it's
Meanwhile, you're
Yeah. So I mean,
Is that your song?
yes.
I knew that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so let me
over.
give you another one. So what about you alone are worthy, Lord?
It's your song.
Yeah.
It's not
So,
another time.
I would have thought that.
there's a lot of,
We
yeah.
started Christianity with that song.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you find out that those kind of structures are now coming into place. At least let's even know who wrote the song, royalties. I mean, radio stations play your song. Instead of them paying you, you pay them.
Yeah.
So, but then you just have to be as fastidious and as determined as possible, to just stay in there. That's what I'd say.
So one of the problems we have in that industry is, making it into a business like
Right.
the other types of music, which we like to call secular. I mean, music is music anyway.
Right.
But is there anything that a gospel artist or singers can begin to do to make it into proper music? So when they go to churches and they present, they don't just receive "God bless you, sister," "God keep you," "God keep your home," "You will really
Right.
bless our lives," and then you go. Are there certain things that they can begin to do so that when they are booked, they are really treated? Because some of these churches book you, and when they book the secular artists, the treatments are different.
Yeah. Well, you see, it's a tough slope to climb because culturally, you have to understand the culture of the church. So to a large extent, you find that some people, right now, if we talk about money, some pastors are not even going to touch you. So one of the things I tell young people, and this is what I'll tell young people, you see, there are very few churches with which you can strike a contract with. A lot of churches are still small. And I said to young artists that, look, if you play the money game, because you're responsible, you have a call from God. You're indirectly saying to God that if it's only the churches that can pay me, I'm going to. You're indirectly saying to God that I'm not ready to sing to the majority of God's people. So what I say to young people is this: maintain a relationship. Work with a small church. A small church is not going to be small forever. Okay? Because if I go to a small church and say, pay me 300,000, they probably don't have it.
Yeah.
They probably don't have it. So does that mean that I won't sing there? But if I sing there today, okay, they give me 100,000, who knows what they're going to be in 10 years' time? And then you would have reading with them. I'll tell you a true story. One of the guys who is A-list today, A-list gospel artist, a church sat down and they were thinking, okay, let's, who do we invite for a concert? And his name was mentioned many years ago, right? And then somebody said, oh, who knows him? Now today, they're trying to get an A-list artist. He doesn't even have the time. But see, if they had plugged him in then,
You can call him anytime.
With the gospel artists abroad, and recently one of ours, there's some of them that their songs and they have become huge international personalities.
Right.
For those abroad, I'm not sure how they do it, but for the one that we know very well here from Nigeria, a lot of people talk about her relationship with her church, and they say the church sort of helped to boost her.
Yes.
So is this the sort of relationship then you're asking artists to have with churches so that they may be boosted? The reason I ask this is because when it comes to gospel and Christianity, we always think it's spiritual. God should boost you. Holy Spirit should boost you.
Yeah.
And then now you're asking spiritual people to be strategic. Doesn't that take away from their spiritual gift?
So let me use myself as an example. I remember a particular church invited me maybe like 10 years ago for a benefit concert. And it was supposed to be like a contractual thing, okay, so how much would you charge? And I said to myself, look, I organize benefit concerts. I know how much it takes to organize an event. So I said to the pastor, you know what, no, I won't take anything. right? And I actually told my guys, I mean, the musician, I said, look, we won't do this because we're doing this. Now, today, let me tell you, if I talk to that pastor and say, look, I'm doing this.
He comes. In full support.
In full support. That is what relationship is all about. You see, relationship is more important than temporary gains. And that's one of the things that a lot of the younger people have to understand. Sometimes you'll be taken for granted, undoubtedly, but they will even up.
But how do you expect them to survive? For instance, there are some people that tell you God has called them into music, and that is all they are meant to do. So they are not doing other jobs.
Let me. I have a wording for young people.
Give us.
All that stuff about this is what God has. My friend, go and find something else to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I always tell people, what else can you do? In fact, this music is supposed to be a leverage for you. Because, so I do this music. Now, I mean, I organize mentoring events that Mariah has been at. Do you understand? How did Mariah know me? He knew me more for my music, but I'm not using that music as a leverage to do other things. So, and that's the space that a lot of young people must. So all this stuff about God just called me. Well, I mean, I'm not disputing that, but I work with God for a bit too.
You go hungry.
Yeah, you go hungry.
Go ahead.
But what of the people who believe that that's their calling and they're not ready to
Do anything else?
My brother, for instance,
Yes.
when he started music, nobody wanted to listen to him.
Yes.
He was just, and he had his father who was larger than life.
Yes.
But he said that was what he wanted to do, that was what he knew, that is what he trained as, and he continued.
Yes.
Today, that is what he eats from. So I think that telling them that you need to...
Yeah, but secular is different from gospel.
It's different from gospel.
No, even
that's true.
Yeah,
so Auntie, let me see. Even let's look at secular. You see, you have to look at let's take Uncle Femi, for instance. His exposure, even Fela, right? Their exposure. You see, you can be doing music and be so close-minded. But these guys, so out of Africa, or let's say out of Nigeria, who's the biggest brand in terms of music? Without, I mean, it's Fela. Do you understand? There was a global perception to his music. But a whole lot of our guys are still close-minded and they're just doing stuff,
They're still in one hub.
Yeah, they're still in one hub.
Yeah.
So you have to really be open-minded about this thing.
Talking about open-mindedness, one of my major concerns is like people don't spend time to write songs. You just take maybe one sentence and repeat it and the beat, and you don't see you see you hear some music from you, Sinach, where you feel like somebody actually read the Bible and they actually got to Rema and they're actually singing somebody actually, because these songs go viral. I mean, and some will just sing and just like, hey, and people will be dancing. Those are ones who make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
But is there a gap? Is there a problem? The fact that people are not writing songs anymore.
People are writing songs that trend. Let me give you an example. And this is many years ago. Somebody said that all these deep songs they're writing. People in the bus, they want to be just nodding their head.
Yeah.
So, again, the truth of the matter is that for us, I think it's an educational thing. Let's go back to the way we're educated in Nigeria. We're not educated to understand. We cram to pass.
Yes.
We cram to pass. And that's going to affect even the way, we
do other things.
We do other things. It's going to affect the way we write. So a lot of times people write, to what's the latest trending music beat. And then we write to fit that. But that is just a trend. And like I always say, trends will always end.
So is it the problem of the songwriter or is it the problem of the listener? Because many people would say you would sell a market. If you are writing deep scripts, deep lyrics.
Right. Both of them will feed off each other. So that you're writing songs that are really deep, you'll probably be there a longer period than somebody that is just writing to trends. So
and you may not make it on flash.
You may be a flash in the pan as quickly as possible, but you will be there. Yeah. You see, you have to understand, there's a difference between trending and being relevant. You can be relevant there for a long time. An example I gave is, let's take someone like Steve Wonder. He may not be on top of the charts. A lot of people do music because they want to be on top of the charts. But if Steve Wonder goes to Nigeria and says, I want to do a show in O2 in 2025, I can bet you it's going to be sold out.
That's very good.
Meanwhile, he's not on top of the charts.
Yeah. All right, let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Green Worship Concert. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
tuned. Your View will be right back.
Glorify your name in a way that you alone will take all the glory. Oh Lord, glorify your name in a way that you alone will take all the glory. Everyone singing, glorify your name. Oh yes, in a way that you alone will take all the glory. Lord, we're calling on you now. We're calling on you now. That you alone will take all the glory. We call your name. Jesus. We call on you now. Jesus. Oh my Lord Jesus. Oh, glorify your name in a way that you alone will take all the glory.
Wow. That is very, very, very powerful.
Thank you.
You know, I really wanted to ask you about green worship, but you see, when I heard the song, it just spoke to me like, you know, you've been serving God for so long, for so many years. Have you ever, I don't want to say has God let you down, but have you just felt that sometimes it's just not clicking or something happens and you're thinking, why? Like, as a Christian, it's not
Right.
like, why is this happening? Why should this happen to this? Because I have served this God so much. Why should this happen to me? Has that ever happened to you?
I mean, most definitely. Till tomorrow. I think the safety net is you have to come to a point in your life where you have this irreversible decision that, look, there is God. I believe in God. So no matter what happens, right? No matter what happens, rainfall, sunshine, I'm still going to go back to God. So, yeah.
So I need to ask you, because, sorry, Jerry.
It's fine.
That song, today, you know me, I'm not one of those people,
Right,
but
yeah.
I know
Yeah,
because I have been to
Yeah,
church.
yes.
You have?
And so that song is
Yes.
very popular.
Yes.
There is no...
Sing it for me.
Today, oh, I will lift up my heart in praise.
So you know the song.
Yeah, let us finish now. Let us finish.
No matter what they say. No matter what they do.
I will praise.
So that song is really, really, really... There is no church good that they don't sing it.
Yeah. So should I tell you the story behind the song?
Yes, please. Give it to us.
So now, first of all, the words of the songs have been changed. It says, today, oh, I lift up my voice in praise, for I know that you are always there for me. Almighty God, you're my all in all, no matter what I face. When troubles come my way, I will praise you.
That's the original.
Now, your husband and I grew up on campus.
Yes.
Of course, more you know to me. Our house got burnt on campus, University of Ife. So I was a second-year student then in university. My parents worked on campus. I went for my lectures in the morning, 7 o'clock, came back at 9 o'clock, and our house was completely burnt down. Lost everything. The only thing we had left, that we had left was what we were wearing and the cars my parents drove to work. So at that point in time, no one was a Christian. I mean, we were into jazz. You know what I mean? Anyway, so a year after I got born again, and really this song is just a vow, saying to God that, look, no matter what I face, I will praise you, Lord.
That also answers your question.
So did you get money for that song?
Did I get money for that?
Oh, did you get money? Because they are singing it everywhere.
Royalties.
So again, that's what I'm saying. You know, that song was written in a time where, I mean, if that song was written today and it is as notorious as it is to, I mean, most definitely. But I can't say that I haven't been remunerated for it because you get invited on account of that song. That's probably the song that I'm most known for. So
there are so many of them. Forget that one.
Let me hear.
When it comes to mind,
you alone are worthy, Lord.
Hey. That's worship. Once you realize to Christ, you start singing in church. Those are the songs you start with. But there's something like when I listen to your song, I felt a certain way. And I realized that songs that last in gospel are very simple. Not complicated songs, simple, that touches the core of worship.
Right.
So, for instance, when I got into the gospel industry, I wanted to rap, not sing this simple. And I had the issues where churches were not even understanding. What is this one? What is this one saying? And all that, bouncing up and down. I'm saying, I'm learning. You know, and so it became like, this industry, are you sure I'm in the right industry? Not because I wasn't connected to God, but because I felt the sort of music I really wanted to do may not really fly in this sort of industry. And I was just telling you now that if I had met you, probably you may have told me, why don't you just sing simple, just sing it simple. Does it mean that for you to thrive in the gospel industry, it has to be worship?
No. I think everybody needs to understand his personality. So let's take someone like Kirk Franklin. You probably know who Kirk Franklin is. Let's take someone like Don Moen. They're two different personalities.
Yes.
I mean, you can imagine Kirk Franklin trying to be like Don Moen. I mean, everybody's going to be like, hello. Did you sleep well tonight? So,
let's talk about the green worship. Because time is almost up.
Green worship, we'll talk about it 1 minute.
Yes.
But this one, what do you think of very religious people who don't have integrity? Like the person we're talking about before the show.
The person very religious.
He's religious.
Very religious. I think he might even be a pastor of us.
Okay, that's true. He quotes Bible though. He always talks about God.
So because they will quote the Bible and they don't have integrity. What do you say about people like that?
What do I say about people like that? I think that's why you have all this uproar anyway. Because if you have integrity, you wouldn't have this uproar. You know, you wouldn't have this uproar. If you're a man of your word, everybody would know that you're a man of your word. You know, so that's what I'm saying.
Tell us about green worship. What's green worship about? And so that we
so green worship is a benefit concert that helps to raise awareness and support for charities that care for orphans, children with special needs, and vulnerable children.
Wow.
And we've been doing that since 2006 under the name of Worship for Change. So green worship is an initiative of Worship for Change. And we've raised about 60 million naira. You know, so we just, once we did, like last year, we raised 7.5 million naira, and we actually targeted 6 charities, like Leprosy Mission, and a couple of
you give them the money.
Yeah, we give them the money. And the amazing thing is, you know, so let's take a charity like Leprosy Mission. They got 1.25 million naira last year. And I was amazed at what 1.25 million naira could do. They actually took 200 kids in a school in Yangoji, near Abuja. They got school uniforms, they got shoes, they got books, and they got a backpack. Well, I mean, look, without 1.25 million, that does not even pay my daughter's school fees. So, I mean, and that's what people fritter away on a weekend. You know, so...
the fritter away 1.25.
Yes, now.
Yeah.
I mean, people...
Clubs.
1 million.
1.25. You need to review the price at Shrine. You can review your price at Shrine. Yes, it's too cheap.
The price of our beer.
Yeah, you need
No,
to
but people spray bills of 1 million now.
Yes, now.
So what is
is
the
that why
aim
I'm
for
simple?
green worship this year? What's the target?
Right, so we have 4 charities we are working with this year. The Farid Center in Mina. Leprosy Mission again. Irede Foundation, they provide prosthetics.
Oh, Irede,
Yeah.
we know Irede.
Yeah.
Irede has been here several times.
Crystal Chibu, yeah. And what's the 4th one? I'm trying to remember the 4 charities. So we want to raise 100 million this year.
Wow.
That is our target. And it's showing on DSTV, it's showing on all our social media handles, on YouTube, on Facebook, and Instagram, at Green Worship, so you can actually follow right now. And so we have great artists, Matt Redman, who wrote 10,000 Reasons, I'm Coming Back to the Heart of Worship, Nathaniel Bassi, Folabi Noel, Laulu Benjo, lots of artists on this. So we would worship, but our aim is that, look, worship is not just something that should go vertically, it should also affect us horizontally. So as we watch, we would also share stories of all of these people, and we expect that people will join in and help us make a difference in lives.
I've been to one of your concerts before, and I think you were very selective of the kind of people that were on stage. I didn't see all the... I really worshipped. Like, the place was charged. And I felt that this one is different, though.
Presence of God
so
is here.
how do you choose? I mean, is it intentional, or it just so happens that we have spiritual?
No, it's intentional. First of all, all the artists on this bill, you will not believe, are not charging a penny. I'm not charging 1 kobo. So they're all doing it for free. So you first of all have to find those kind of people who can do that. And even the entire program is designed. Of course, there's fast-paced music and all of that. But like you said, I mean, it must be rich. The content must be godly and must inspire people to worship. Yeah.
All right, so we have to wrap up. So at Green Worship, right? And it's next week
Green Worship.
Friday?
Sorry?
When is it? Next week Friday?
No, Saturday. Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Oh, sugar.
Tomorrow.
I thought it was next week.
Tomorrow, 5 p.m.
5 p.m. tomorrow,
Yeah,
so
5 p.m.
we can watch it live.
Yeah, watch
Fantastic.
it live.
Well
While
done.
watching, donations can come.
Yeah, there'll be instructions on how to give.
Okay.
Thank you. It's a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you so much.
I know you want to have a last word on Fani Kayode, because this thing is picking you. We have to wrap up.
No, I'm not seeing, because I had to Google how the father, apparently he betrayed the Western, according to the Western
Well, you know what? I'll give you time to go and do a research on FFK. Come back next week and tell what you found on FFK and the entire generation, and we'll discuss it. Let me go. We have to wrap up, but we're going to laugh with one of your songs, at least to start off the weekend. So that's all we can take on the show. Let's watch this. I know. Wow, your love is there for me.
Aren't you get up and worship? Aren't you Christians? Get up.
I have to catch my love, when I wake up, I know your love is there for me. My Lord, my God, it's in you I live and move. I'm surprised you don't know this song. It's
Can you imagine? Mo ti ń ka gbogbo nǹkan bàbá ẹ̀.
Ó fẹ́ ra padà ní ìsinmi ọ̀tá.
Àwọn àtàfo.